very good morning. You're watching Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's start the bulletin with the top stories. Prime Minister calls an all-party meet ahead of budget session. Meeting important as hostilities with opposition parties on several issues grow. JNU protests spill onto the streets of Delhi. Supporters of Students' Union present beaten up outside court premises. Former DU Professor S.R. Gilani arrested on charges of sedition. Mysore is the cleanest city in India. Dhanbad in Jharkhand the dirtiest, according to the findings of the government's cleanliness survey. Dissident Congress leader Kaliko Pul stakes claim to form government in Arunachal Pradesh, submits memorandum to governor. 11 BJP and 2 independent MLAs also back Pul's claim. And at least 50 people killed in airstrikes on hospitals and schools in northern Syria. Turkey and Russia blame each other. Syria blames the United States. Well, with just a week to go for the budget session of Parliament, the Prime Minister has reached out to the opposition. He has convened a meeting of floor leaders of all parties in both houses of Parliament today. The meeting assumes significance amidst growing hostilities between the ruling and opposition parties on several issues. With not much legislative business taken up due to disruption in the previous 2 sessions, the government is making a fresh bid to ensure smooth functioning this time around. The government, however, says it's not an all-party meeting and the bills it seeks to introduce or pass will not be discussed. And dissident Congress leader Kaliko Pul has staked claim to form the next government in Arunachal Pradesh. Pul submitted a memorandum to Governor Jyoti Prasad Rajkhowa. Congress MLAs, in fact 19 Congress MLAs along with 11 of the BJP and 2 independent members also submitted a separate memorandum to the governor reaffirming their support to Pul. The governor has assured them of putting forward their claims to the president, who will then decide when to lift the president's rule in the state. BJP MLAs also made it clear that the party would be supporting a Congress government led by Pul as the leader and had no intention to form a BJP-led government in the state. The Supreme Court is currently considering pleas against imposition of president's rule in Arunachal Pradesh. The court is also hearing petitions seeking examination of discretionary powers of the governor. In its observations on Monday, the Apex Court said that the Arunachal Pradesh governor was not the aggrieved party. The court is deliberating which of the 2 incidents, running a minority government or running the House by a speaker who has lost majority support, was more harmful to the democracy. And moving to Jammu and Kashmir, the PDP seems to have adopted a reconciliatory tone after weeks of tough talk with the BJP over government formation in Jammu and Kashmir. The party has said that it has not demanded any confidence-building measures from its ally BJP. The party, however, said that the government formation in Jammu and Kashmir will take some more time. The party has asserted that the alliance with the BJP is intact and there was no question of making any fresh demands to the coalition partner. The state has been under governor's rule since the 8th of January, a day after the death of then Chief Minister Mufti Mohammed Saeed. Now, PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti had earlier talked tough, asserting that PDP cannot move forward in forming the government with the BJP unless the centre takes tangible confidence-building measures to address the causes of alienation and works towards a lasting solution to the state's aggrieved problems. The BJP, on the other hand, says that communication lines with the PDP are open.
ये चीज़ें कॉन्फिडेंशियल होती है ना, वो वक्त से पहले इंसान बोल दे तो बनती हुई बात भी बिगड़ जाती है. इस पर गौर हो रहा है. हम सिर्फ कुर्सी के लिए अलायंस तो नहीं चाहते, हम लोगों की खिदमत के लिए चाहते हैं, इसलिए उसमें कुछ टाइम लगेगा.
And coming back to the national capital, the JNU protests have spilled onto the streets of Delhi, literally. The Patiala House Court complex witnessed violence on Monday as a mob wearing lawyer's robe slapped and kicked supporters of arrested JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar. Teachers of the varsity were also chased away from the premises. To make it worse, journalists reporting from the scene were also thrashed and warned. The incident has now snowballed into a major controversy, with the entire opposition now up in arms against the centre, demanding stringent action against this kind of hooliganism. The controversy over the arrest of JNU Students' Union President Kanhaiya Kumar escalated dramatically outside the Patiala House Court in Delhi on Monday. Just minutes before Kanhaiya Kumar was brought to court, violence erupted outside the court complex. A group of lawyers attacked the students and faculty members at the Jawaharlal Nehru University.
These people, there are 6-7 lawyers here who started lobbying people in the morning कि ये साले पाकिस्तानी हैं, माँ बहन की गालियाँ देते रहे. We were not saying anything to them. We were just 10 people standing and waiting to see family.
लेकिन आज जो हुआ है ये भारत के इतिहास में लोकतंत्र पर और ये जो संविधान है इस पर काला धब्बा है.
Some journalists who were there to cover the court proceedings were also manhandled and threatened. 2 FIRs have been registered in the scuffle. Home Secretary Rajiv Maharishi has also promised action against those involved in the attack. The incident drew massive condemnation from all quarters, with the Congress promising to raise the issue in the upcoming budget session of Parliament.
Instead of dealing with the university students in the way they should be dealt with, they are being dealt with as criminals. And this is not the British Raj anymore. We have won our freedom.
This is something which we are not surprised. I mean, these elements are that. I mean, after all, if such elements could have taken the life of Mahatma Gandhi, and they call us anti-national after what they've done.
मैं समझता हूँ तमाम लोकतांत्रिक और सेकुलर ताकतें इकट्ठा होंगी और केंद्र सरकार को मुंहतोड़ जवाब दिया जाएगा.
Meanwhile, at the university campus, students went on an indefinite strike, demanding immediate release of their leader. Even though the teachers have extended solidarity with the protesting students, they have not joined the strike yet. Vice-Chancellor Jadesh Kumar's appeal to the students to not resort to strikes and protests went unheeded.
We stand by freedom of expression. The entire university community is behind me, teachers, karamcharis and students. We are looking at the entire event. Our inquiry committee is looking into this. It is all of our responsibility to bring normalcy so that we go on with our academic activities.
And as political tensions boiled the debate over slapping of sedition charges against Kanhaiya Kumar, the Delhi police detained former Delhi University lecturer S.A.R. Gilani for allegedly organizing an event at the Press Club of India to mark the death anniversary of Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru. Today, the Delhi High Court will hear a plea seeking a NIA probe into sedition charges against Kanhaiya Kumar, whose custody has been extended by 2 more days. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And in the middle of these protests at the Jawaharlal Nehru University, BJP Chief Amit Shah has accused Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi of hobnobbing with anti-national elements. In a blog post, Shah also demanded an apology from both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. The Congress party reacted sharply to the blog, rejecting allegations levelled at the Gandhis, even questioning Shah's credentials.
BJP President Amit Shah jumped into the JNU protest cauldron on Monday, accusing the Congress party of hobnobbing with anti-nationalists. In a blog post on the party website, Shah specifically targets Rahul Gandhi, questioning the Congress Vice President's visit to the campus. He asked several pointed questions of Rahul, including whether the Congress leader has lent his voice to separatists in the country and does he want another partition. In the blog, Amit Shah also targets left parties. He says that a progressive mindset cannot be equated with support for anti-national sentiments.
देश की जमीन पर देश के किसी भी हिस्से पर इस तरह की देशद्रोही गतिविधियों को सहन नहीं करना चाहिए, न सहन किया जाएगा. पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय उपाध्यक्ष श्री राहुल गांधी ने वहां जाकर जिस तरह से इस घटना का समर्थन किया, वो इससे भी ज्यादा चिंता की बात है. तो मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी से पूछना चाहता हूं कि इससे बड़ी देशद्रोह के लिए सबूत क्या हो सकती है जो ये नारे हैं.
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi reacted sharply to the criticism, saying the ruling party has no right to question his patriotic credentials.
देशभक्ति का लाइसेंस की दुकान खोल रखी है आरएसएस ने. सिर्फ वो कह सकते हैं देशभक्त कौन है, देशद्रोही कौन है। और ये लोग हैं कौन? ये वही लोग हैं जिन्होंने गांधी जी के सीने में 3 गोलियां मारी थी। ये वही लोग हैं जो अंग्रेजों के सामने माफी मांगते थे।
The Congress stood firmly behind its leader, rejecting all charges leveled by Amit Shah.
महात्मा गांधी के विचारों के हत्यारों और गॉडसे के विचारों के वंशजों से हमें या देश को राष्ट्र प्रेम और देशभक्ति का पाठ नहीं सीखना। सबसे अधिक विडंबनापूर्ण यह है कि एक ऐसे व्यक्ति जो खुद माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय द्वारा तड़ी पार कर दिए गए थे, वो राष्ट्र प्रेम और देशभक्ति का पाठ भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस को पढ़ा रहे हैं।
While the Congress has accused BJP-led NDA government of undue use of police force on the GNU campus, the ruling party has termed Congress's stand as being supportive of anti-national elements. With Shyam Sundar, Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
Moving on day 2 of his visit to Assam, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi will undertake a padyatra in Shivasagar district today. The padyatra or the foot march will start from Ranghar to Darbar in Shivasagar, covering a total of 6 kilometers. On the first day of his visit, Rahul launched the party's election campaign in the poll-bound state. He began his visit from Sonitpur, where he addressed party workers. He then went to Bipuria in Lakhimpur district to address a conclave of women workers of the party. In his speech, Rahul hit out at Prime Minister Narendra Modi, accusing him of only giving assurances but never fulfilling them. He also said the policies of BJP have always been divisive, and because of that, the party will go the Bihar way in Assam as well, where assembly elections are due in 2 months. Listen in.
अभी इस चुनाव से पहले वो बिहार गए, मोदी जी ने वहां बहुत भाषण किए, गुस्सा फैलाने की कोशिश की, और कांग्रेस पार्टी, लालू जी और नीतीश जी एक तरफ हो गए और हमने भाईचारा फैलाया। और जब वो चुनाव हारे, बिल्कुल आश्चर्य हो गए, उनको समझ में नहीं आया क्या हुआ, क्योंकि वो सोचते थे कि बिहार में हिंदू को मुसलमान से लड़ाकर, एक धर्म को दूसरे धर्म से लड़ाकर वो चुनाव जीत जाएंगे। वही यहां होने वाला है।
Time for a very short break here, but coming up next, all the international updates. Do stay with us.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries. Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m.
Thanks for staying with us on Breakfast News. Now, regional security, economic engagement and trade and security are likely to top the agenda at a meeting hosted by India, which will be attended by leaders of the ASEAN countries. The 8th edition of Delhi Dialogue will be held in the national capital from the 17th of February to the 19th.
India will be giving an initial investment amount of 500 crore rupees to Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos and Vietnam for establishing manufacturing centres. Under the scheme, Indian companies engaged in manufacturing will set up factories in these countries with this money.
To encourage integration of Indian producers in regional value chains of ASEAN, Ministry of Commerce and Industry is in the process of establishing a project development fund with a corpus of 500 crore Indian rupees, which will help create manufacturing hub.
India's investment proposal is aimed at reducing the over-dependence on China for the countries in this region and also to extend its own influence. Under the scheme, India will also make a road link to Thailand through Myanmar. Motor vehicle and customs agreements have already been signed.
We also feel that this would help us in integrating in regional value chains, which is very important, especially with regard to Myanmar, for instance, because we're working on a trilateral highway, and I think many times we've spoken about the fact that the trilateral highway has to be a live highway.
In the previous ASEAN meet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had proposed a $1 billion line of credit for connectivity with ASEAN. Last year, Vice President Hamid Ansari had visited Laos and Cambodia. The Prime Minister had also visited Myanmar. With India's Look East policy morphing into Act East policy, ASEAN countries have been enthused.
The proposal is going to be sent for cabinet approval soon, and government wants to test the water about its ramification strategically, politically and diplomatically as well as economically for the whole region. Akhilesh Suman for Sabha television with camera person Shiv Kumar in Delhi.
Well, the centre has sanctioned nearly 4,100 crore rupees as disaster relief to 7 states, including Polban, Tamil Nadu and Assam. The high-level committee chaired by Home Minister Rajnath Singh approved the sum as central assistance to states affected by floods and drought. The committee examined the proposals based on the report of the central team, which visited the affected states by severe drought. The committee approved the assistance from the National Disaster Relief Fund. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, Union Home Secretary Rajiv Maharishi and senior officers of the Ministries of Home, Finance and Agriculture attended the meeting. Jharkhand, Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh are among the 10 states in the country which are reeling under severe drought conditions due to 14% deficit monsoon this year. Tamil Nadu witnessed massive floods in October 2015. Mysore in Karnataka has been ranked the cleanest in the country in the government's Swachh Sarvekshan or the Cleanliness Survey 2016. It had also won the title last year. Mysore tops a list of 73 cities that were surveyed this year. They included 22 state capitals. Cities with a population of over 10 lakh were eligible. The city of Palaces was also ranked first in a list of 476 cities last year. Besides Mysuru, in the top 4 this year are Chandigarh, Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu and central New Delhi, called the National Capital Territory. At the bottom of this list of 73 are Patna in Bihar, ranked 70th, followed by Itanagar in Arunachal Pradesh, Asansol in West Bengal and at the last place, Dhanbad in Jharkhand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's own Lok Sabha constituency, Varanasi too, fared badly, coming in at a poor 65th position.
These 73 cities, based on strategic efforts for infrastructure creation relating to toilets, solid waste management, present level of service delivery and behavior change communication. Survey results including ranks are announced to further promote a healthy spirit of competition among the cities. That is the purpose.
And a look now at what's expected to make news through the day. The CPIM Politburo and Central Committee will meet today to discuss poll preparations ahead of assembly elections in Tamil Nadu, Kerala and West Bengal. Today's meeting will be followed by another meeting of the Central Committee in the next 2 days. The issue of an alliance with the Congress in West Bengal is likely to come up in the meeting today. Samajwadi Party Supremo Mulayam Singh Yadav will address a public rally in Mumbai today. It's being called a Desh Banao, Desh Bachao rally and assumes significance against the backdrop of the Shiv Sena accusing the UP government of doing anti-national business for appeasement politics. The BJP ally had lashed out at the Akhilesh Yadav government for allowing Pakistani ghazal maestro Ghulam Ali to hold a concert in the state. Counting of votes for by-polls to 12 assembly constituencies in 8 states will be held today. These states include Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Telangana, Bihar and Tripura, where by-polls were held on the 13th of February. Central and paramilitary forces have been deployed to ensure smooth counting of votes. And the big international focus this morning. At least 50 people were killed in airstrikes on hospitals and schools in northern Syria yesterday. The UN called it a blatant violation of international laws As usual, Turkey and Russia played the blame game over horrific attacks. Meanwhile, Syrian ambassador to Moscow blamed the United States, a claim the Pentagon dismissed as false.
Carnage in northern Syria. Several missiles hit 5 medical centers and 2 schools in rebel-held Syrian towns on Monday. Among those hit was a Medicine Sans Frontiers hospital. The town of Azaz also came under attack, the last rebel stronghold before the border with Turkey. Missiles slammed into a school sheltering families fleeing the offensive.
Again, a deliberate attack against medical structure. It's clearly an attack against the medical mission.
The UN was quick to respond, calling it a blatant violation of international laws. UN envoy to Syria, Staffan de Mistura, arrived in Damascus on Monday and announced he is expected to hold talks with Syrian Foreign Minister on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the EU said it has plans to establish a humanitarian aid office in Damascus. France called it a war crime.
The hospital of Médecins Sans Frontières is completely unacceptable, and we will continue to pressure all the parties to respect the basic principles of humanitarian law.
Blame game continues. When activists accused Russia and Assad forces for the horrific attacks, Turkey put the blame on Russia, calling it obvious war crimes. Turkey continues to shell Kurdish positions for the third day as they try to stop Kurds from seizing the town of Azaz. The standoff between Russia and Turkey has increased the risk of direct confrontation between Russia and the NATO member Turkey. The Syrian ambassador to Moscow said the US was to blame.
Ve alanda Rusya'nın bir piyonu gibi davranan YPG-PYD güçleri az dönük saldırılara devam ederlerse ve mülteci akınlarına sebebiyet verirlerse onlara da en kararlı şekilde Rusya'nın niyetinin ateşkes ya da barış değil, daha çok sivil öldürerek, daha çok katliam yaparak Suriye rejimini yaşatmak oldu.
The intensified fighting has cast a shadow over the cessation of hostilities which was agreed at the Munich Agreement. Taking potshots at Turkey and Saudi Arabia, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad said ceasefire should create stability. He also urged Syrians to stay back as the migrant crisis has grown out of proportion.
خلال أسبوع. طيب من هو القادر على تجميع كل هذه الشروط أو المتطلبات خلال أسبوع؟ لا أحد. من سيتحدث مع الإرهابيين؟ في حال منظمة إرهابية رفضت وقف إطلاق النار، من سيحاسبها؟ من سيقصفها؟ كما يقولون إذا أرادوا قصفها.
The only ray of hope for Syria now is an immediate ceasefire. Until the world leaders move towards a real cessation of hostilities, the fate of Syrians hangs in the balance. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
For more international stories, here's a quick world wrap. British Prime Minister David Cameron met French President François Hollande on Monday after EU Chief Donald Tusk warned there was a real danger of a Brexit, that is, Britain exiting from the 28-member EU bloc. The meeting comes ahead of a key summit on EU renegotiation later this week in Brussels. Britain hopes to hammer out a deal on Thursday to prevent a Brexit. Despite staunch opposition from the Republican lawmakers, US President Barack Obama is holding preliminary discussions with his team on whom to nominate to the Supreme Court following Justice Antonin Scalia's death during last week. The White House accused Senate Republicans of bluster for saying they would not confirm Obama's pick. India-born Shrikant Srinivasan is one of the possible contenders and is a favorite on Obama's list. Tension is high in Uganda ahead of Thursday's presidential election. Ugandan opposition leader has been arrested as violence broke out on the streets. The police forces fired tear gas and rubber bullets to break up a crowd of opposition supporters. All political parties are expected to stage final rallies today. The EU foreign ministers have agreed to lift nearly all sanctions on Belarus. This comes after improvements in the country's human rights record. Sanctions against President Alexander Lukashenko will also be lifted. The EU had suspended asset freezes and travel ban sanctions against 170 individuals and 3 entities in Belarus early in October. The UN today warned North Korea's Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un that he be held accountable along with his ministers if they are found responsible for crimes against humanity committed under his leadership. The UN Human Rights Chief mentioned this in a 13-page report, which was made public ahead of a review of North Korea's rights record. And on to some sports news now. On the penultimate day of the 12th South Asian Games, the Indian boxers won all the 7 gold medals up for grabs, while the shooters ended their campaign with an outstanding tally of 25 gold medals. Shiv Thapa, Devendra Singh, Mandeep Jangra, Vikas Krishnan and Manoj Kumar were among the 7 Indian pugilists who bagged gold medals in their respective weight categories. Women boxers MC Marikom, Sarita Devi and Pooja Rani will compete for gold medals today. The Indian shooters bagged 4 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze medals on the final day of the shooting event to finish the games with a total of 45 medals, including 25 gold. The Indian women's football team also won a gold after defeating Nepal 4-0 in the summit clash. The men's team, however, lost to Nepal to settle for a silver. India also won 5 gold in judo, 3 in taekwondo and 2 each in kabaddi and handball. With 25 medals on Monday, India surpassed the 300 mark in the medals tally. India are on top of the table with 183 gold, 88 silver and 30 bronze medals. Sri Lanka remains second with 25 gold, followed by Pakistan and Afghanistan at 3rd and 4th places respectively. And a look now at all the other sporting action in sports. The BCCI's working committee will meet on the 19th of February ahead of the special general meeting convened on the same day to deliberate on the reforms recommended by the Supreme Court appointed Justice R.M. Lodha committee. The committee had called for wide-ranging reforms in the BCCI structure. Earlier in the month, the Supreme Court had told board members to fall in line with the recommendations. India will play West Indies and South Africa in their 2 warm-up matches in the run-up to the ICC World T20 to be held in India next month. The men in blue will play West Indies at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata on the 10th of March, followed by a match against the Proteas in Mumbai on the 12th of March. The hosts will take on Pakistan in their first match on 19th March. 5-time world champion Vishwanathan Anand played out 2 draws to keep his full-point lead in the Zurich Chess Challenge. After wins against Levan Aronian and Anish Giri, Anand drew with Latvian Alexei Shirov in the 3rd round game, followed by a draw with Hikaru Nakamura of the United States in the classical rapid section. English side Chelsea will meet Paris Saint-Germain in the last 16 of the Champions League. Chelsea will miss captain and defender John Terry. PSG's Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Thiago Silva will return after being rested. The 2 teams have been drawn together in the Champions League knockout phase for the 3rd successive season, with both winning 1 each in the last 2 encounters. That's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for your time.